Hi gamers, I'm gonna be showing you the SWAM Brass instruments. These are all the sounds available. So to get any actual sound from the instrument, you needed to use the expression controller for each one. Because if I try to make some noise now, it does not do anything. You can go over to, I think, generators in your browser, click on this icon, and then current project and generators. And there you can see the expression controller for each one. So if you just pump this up to maximum, it will be quite loud. If you bring it down, it will be less loud. And it will also have a different timbre, so different sound. It's softer. That's why it's not a volume, it's expression. Sometimes, for example, the saxophones, if you go to options, you can see the controls for each one. And if we click on this and browse parameters, this just simply goes to the settings for the instrument. You can see which controller controls which property. And the saxophone seems to be broken for me, at least on my version. So if you're having trouble, the expression controller is not working for you, only when you click, then you want to select the expression controller to CC11, which is also down here. And you can use this one instead of the regular controller, and this should fix your problem. It also sometimes jumps up to CC84 for some reason. It's quite buggy, these older versions of the program. But as you can see, I now set it to CC11 and I cranked up CC11. And now I can use the saxophone. When you're actually making a song, let's just record something quickly. You can right click on the controller or any property and click on edit events in piano roll, and here you can actually change it as the melody plays, which is really useful. If you go over to the too much to the right, then your pattern might continue too long. You can simply use this delete tool on the end of the pattern, and it will delete it. Next, I want to show you the vibrato. I'm going to be using the trumpet for this one. Browse parameters, crank up the expression. So if you see on the left, or you click browse parameters, you can see a vibrato depth parameter. Which is very useful. For example, if you want to add some vibrato towards the end of a long note to emphasize the tension, then it's going to be very handy. You can also crank up the vibrato rate. To change the vibrato rate. Okay, next you can see the growl parameter. It has like a growl effect, like a instead of a you know, like a instead of a you know. I'm such a professional. Next you have the actually each trumpet seems to for some reason come with built-in reverb, so you can sort of hear it sounds like the trumpet is in a room. If you just lower the reverb mix to 0, or yeah, turn it off, it's much more cleaner. And you can also just add your own reverb instead, because I prefer to have more control. So make sure to turn off the reverb if that's not something you're into. We also have the flutter tongue parameter. It has like small pauses in the sound. Almost like you're bursting with your lips, you know, like, you know? Okay, fuck. Next, few more things. I like to use the EQ on each one. Maybe boost the high frequencies a bit. It really brings up the sound. Or you can use Maximus or Sound Godizer. Makes the sound prettier. I like to put sounds in layers. For example, instead of just having a note like this, I like to have multiple instruments do the same sound. which is great. So let's disable all these vibratos. You can hear it sort of syncing up. It's the unison has phasing, so you can click, since we have 4 instruments, you can click the phasing, set the second one to phase 2, third one to phase 3, fourth one to phase 4, and now they will be desynced. I think there is 5 phases. So now they are less synced up. You can also, you should maybe switch up your instruments. Instead of having 4 trumpets, you can have 2 trumpets, a trombone. You can have, let's say, a tenor trombone. Turn up the expression. And then let's have a, what other brass instruments should we add? We can add a French horn, for example. Remove the mute, crank up the expression. But now it's going to be a pain to put these melodies together. So what I also like to do is add a layer, click on plus and then find layer, or just press L. You can now select all these and then click on set children. And now, if you have done this correctly, pressing a button here will use all 4 instruments. Let's change the phasing on this. Now that it will do too much. Great. Next we can... We also have to automate the expression for each one. For example, this trumpet. But let's say you don't want to do each one by hand. You can go to channel and then create a control surface. Then we're going to click on plus and add a knob. Just choose any one of them. And then let's rename it to brass expression control. Click on this wrench to disable editing. Now you can change it. And then let's click on each expression controller. Click on link to controller and select brass expression control, or whatever you named it. Make sure to not remove clone conflicts, because we're going to be using multiple instruments on the same knob. And do this on each trumpet and bass brass instrument. Link to controller. Yep. Browse parameters, a link to controller. Bam. Oh. Bam. Bam bam. And now, if we go to the mixer, open up the control surface, we can control all of the instruments together. So that's quite useful. And then you can make sure to pan each instrument so they don't all sound the same distance and same direction away. So for example, let's have the trumpets on the left side. And let's have the trombone and French horn on the right side. We can also move these to a different channel and apply a different EQ to each one. Make this one quieter. Next, if you want to use the same effects, for example the same reverb for each instrument, you simply, if you have them all in a different channel or different insert in the mixer, for example let's use 1, 2, 3, 4 and then 5 for the combined, we simply click on this little arrow here. This will send insert 1, so trumpet number 1, to the main and the insert number 5. So this first instrument will sound twice as loud now. But let's remove the connection to the main output. And now it sends it to insert number 5 and then insert number 5 sends it to main. Let's do the same thing for the other 4 instruments. Pam pam. Re-enable them. And now you can add a reverb to all 4 at once. So it sounds like they are in the same environment. Yeah, this is basically it. So hopefully this tutorial was useful to you. See you in the next one. Like and subscribe or whatever, I don't care. You can join my Discord if you want. Bye bye.